This Japanese billionaire's life philosophy: earn more money, attract more companionships. He never married anyone over 25, and at 77, he married a Japanese actress 55 years younger than him. But just 3 months into their marriage, this wealthy man was found dead in his home, in an unusual state, with the cause still a mystery. Welcome to the True Crime Story for You channel. Uncovering the darkest secrets needs your power. Click subscribe now and join us. In February 2018, 77-year-old Kazuo Nozaki made headlines across Japan when he announced he was marrying a woman 55 years his junior, 22-year-old Saki Sudo, a young woman from Hokkaido with a history that raised more than a few eyebrows. Known for her love of luxury, Sudo had spent time working in nightclubs and was even rumored to have appeared in a couple of connections in the entertainment industry. Friends described her as someone deeply interested in high-end goods, frequently spending lavishly on herself and often hanging out at host clubs, where she was known to spend big. Nozaki was instantly captivated by Sudo when they met at a Tokyo bar, and he quickly took to showering her with money and gifts to win her over. The whirlwind romance culminated in a marriage proposal within 3 months, despite Sudo's upfront conditions: a monthly allowance of 1 million yen and no wedding ceremony. Nozaki, who had dreamed of throwing a grand wedding, ultimately yielded to her requests. This unexpected May-December marriage quickly became the talk of Japan. People were baffled and fascinated by the union of a wealthy, established tycoon and a young woman from a different social circle. The public reaction was intense, sparking endless discussions about the unusual pairing. Yet, Nozaki seemed unfazed, fully embracing his role in one of Japan's most talked-about relationships. 3 months after marrying Kosuke Nozaki, Sudo Saki made a chilling call to authorities, reporting her husband's sudden death in their secluded Wakayama mansion. When investigators arrived, they found Nozaki lying in an unusual state on a second-floor sofa, with only an empty glass nearby. That night, only Sudo and a housekeeper were in the house, and it was Sudo herself who had made the report. The circumstances immediately raised eyebrows. Close associates recalled that the couple hardly lived together. Sudo preferred her apartment in Tokyo and received a consistent 1 million yen monthly allowance from Nozaki. If the payment was ever delayed, she would immediately demand an explanation. For many, her motives seemed increasingly suspect. That night, the housekeeper noted Sudo's unusual behavior. She lingered in the living room watching TV until late, instead of using her usual private bathroom downstairs. It was only after the housekeeper reminded her of the time that she finally went to bathe. Strangely, just 18 days before Nozaki's passing, his cherished dog had also died under mysterious circumstances, adding another unsettling layer to the story. The autopsy later revealed a lethal level of foreign substances in Nozaki's system, ruling out natural causes. Observations from the housekeeper also painted a detached image of their marriage. Sudo rarely waited for Nozaki when they were out, often leaving him behind, barely engaging during meals, and even avoiding shared spaces like the bath. These details hinted at a distance and tension beneath the surface of their relationship. When questioned by investigators, Sudo reportedly responded, "I was already receiving 1 million yen a month. Why would I jeopardize everything by harming him?" Her calm, almost calculated reply only raised more suspicions. Was Nozaki's death merely a tragic accident, or is there a hidden story within this strange relationship and its sudden, grim end? Kosuke Nozaki was born in 1941 in Tanabe City, Wakayama Prefecture, Japan, as the youngest of 7 children. His family initially ran a small sake brewery, but due to severe food shortages during World War II, they were eventually forced to close the business as they couldn't secure the necessary ingredients. Nozaki's early years were marked by his growing fascination with his personal ambitions, which influenced his unique approach to life. In middle school, during Japan's post-war reconstruction period, Nozaki spent his free time collecting scrap metal and remnants of wartime debris to earn pocket money. Once he had saved enough, he would venture into nearby towns, indulging in his own discreet social activities. By 16, struggling academically, he dropped out and joined a shochu distillery in Nagoya as an apprentice. Though his initial role involved tedious errands and modest earnings, he wasn't content to stop there. He found creative ways to sell shochu to local customers, gradually building up a decent amount of savings to fund his ongoing interests. Around 1958, while delivering goods near a bar district, Nozaki happened upon some unusual items floating in a nearby gutter. Curious, he realized they were rare imported items he had only heard of but never seen up close. This chance encounter sparked his interest. Visiting a pharmacy to check prices, he found that such items were kept behind the counter and priced impressively high due to strict post-war material regulations. Seeing this as an opportunity, Nozaki started a modest side business, supplying these high-value products to households at a profit, quickly building a reputation for his unique service. While making deliveries, Nozaki observed certain discarded items in alleyways that hinted at a quiet but growing demand. At the time, certain personal products were costly and hard to find, yet the need among urban couples was evident. Seeing an opportunity, Nozaki decided to try his hand at direct sales. He bought these items in bulk from the pharmacy and began going door to door in Nagoya, offering them directly to potential customers. With his approachable demeanor and easygoing style, Nozaki quickly gained a loyal customer base, leading to steady income. Encouraged by his earnings, Nozaki left his job at the sake factory to fully focus on his new venture. During Japan's post-war economic boom, societal views were shifting and demand kept rising. By the early 1960s, he'd established a strong customer base, even attracting investments, which allowed him to build a small sales team. As he expanded, Nozaki identified another profitable niche. Many young people were eager to start businesses, and private lenders saw an opportunity to grow their wealth. Nozaki entered the lending business, leveraging Japan's relaxed regulations on private loans. This new venture quickly flourished, adding significantly to his growing wealth. By the mid-1960s, when the government eased restrictions on imports and more manufacturers joined the market, prices dropped. Nozaki transitioned fully into the lending business. As Nozaki's loan business expanded, so did the challenge of getting borrowers to pay up. Faced with rising risks, he made the bold decision to partner with certain local enforcers to assist with collections. With this partnership, Nozaki's reputation grew, and by 1972, his business was thriving across Nagoya and Osaka. Around this time, he made a strategic move into real estate, snapping up land just beyond the city limits to expand his portfolio. By the late 1970s, with the yen's value steadily climbing, Nozaki sensed that Japan's currency policy was shifting. Betting big on his instincts, he converted his cash reserves into real estate, stocks, and bonds, positioning himself for Japan's economic boom. In 1985, his foresight paid off when Japan accepted an international agreement, causing the yen to surge. Thanks to his timely investments, Nozaki emerged unscathed from the volatility that ensued. In the 1990s, government scrutiny on small loan businesses increased, especially as social issues related to lending practices gained attention. Soon enough, tax authorities investigated his business, uncovering issues that resulted in hefty fines and potential legal consequences. Always resourceful, Nozaki quickly adapted. He revived his family's old sake business and launched a plum pickling venture, channeling profits from his loan business into these new ventures, allowing him to reduce taxes while keeping his wealth intact. Despite all the twists and turns, by the early 2000s, Nozaki had accumulated a personal fortune of over 3 billion yen. His journey was anything but ordinary, with every challenge propelling him closer to success. As he quickly amassed his wealth, Yasuki Nozaki began living out his youthful dreams with full flair. Known as a prominent billionaire, he became a regular at various nightclubs and bars, where he didn't hesitate to make a lasting impression on women he admired. Generously offering gifts, he'd often hand out tens of thousands of yen as a grand gesture, convincing his favorites to spend the evening with him. His reputation for boldness and charm became so well known that Japanese media dubbed him the Don Juan of Kishu, comparing him to the legendary Spanish noble who famously chased love and pleasure without restraint. Friends and acquaintances were all too familiar with his signature, routine in relationships. Each time he started dating the new woman, he'd swiftly bring up marriage, sometimes even going as far as meeting her family to show his commitment. But just when his partner took him seriously, he would distance himself, leaving her confused until she eventually gave up. Nozaki openly admitted that one of his driving forces for making money was to enjoy romantic adventures with as many women as possible. In fact, he even published a book titled "I Made All This Money Just to Have More Girlfriends," openly sharing his unapologetic views on love and wealth. Naoki Kosuke often bragged that unlike most of Japan's wealthy, he was truly willing to spend a fortune on women. Claiming over 4,000 relationships, he estimated that his lifestyle had cost him nearly 3 billion yen. Among these countless relationships, he also had 3 brief marriages, each with its own issues. His first wife was a bar owner 30 years younger whom he met in the 90s. Soon after they married, Naoki's controlling side surfaced, as he demanded she avoid going out alone and tried to restrict her movements. Used to more freedom, his wife felt smothered and, though she initially married for financial security, found his demands unbearable, ending their marriage in less than 3 years. In 2013, Naoki, at age 72, fell for another woman, this time 50 years his junior. She was a university student with a part-time job as a bar hostess and model. Yet, this marriage didn't last either. After a long separation, in 2016, she disappeared from his home while he was away for medical care, reportedly departing with valuables worth over 60 million yen. A police investigation revealed his wife herself had taken the items, making headlines in Japan. And so, by age 75, he was once again single. His third marriage, 2 years later, ended just as abruptly, with his body found under unusual circumstances on the sofa. At the funeral of Kozo Nozaki, his wife, Sudo Saki, appeared unusually composed, raising more than a few eyebrows among attendees. Her demeanor immediately fueled suspicions about her involvement in Nozaki's mysterious death. Yet, with no direct evidence, police found themselves unable to push the investigation forward. Following Nozaki's passing, Sudo quickly inherited both of his companies along with a payout of 35 million yen. Instead of getting involved in the management of these businesses, she continued her glamorous lifestyle, sharing glimpses of luxury events, private golf lessons, and designer accessories on social media. Her lifestyle appeared largely unaffected by her husband's passing, raising further questions. Friends reportedly expressed concerns privately, to which she is said to have replied with a grin, "Would I do that? I get 1,000,000 yen every month just fine." Despite the absence of solid proof, authorities never ceased their investigation. After 3 relentless years, they made a breakthrough. Surveillance footage revealed Sudo purchasing a stimulant from an acquaintance. This critical evidence led to her arrest. What really caused Kozo Nozaki's death? Given the circumstances, some theories have naturally emerged, each adding layers of intrigue to the case. First, there's the question of money. Sudo's humble background, combined with her taste for luxury, was no secret. Even after marrying Nozaki, she kept up a lavish lifestyle, showing little interest in him personally. With Nozaki's death, she smoothly inherited his wealth and took control of his companies, though she rarely showed any interest in actually running them. Was she simply in this marriage for financial gain? Did Nozaki's passing provide her the freedom she wanted, along with access to his fortune? Then there's the marital tension. Reports indicate that Nozaki preferred a close, committed relationship and expected his wife to live with him full-time. Yet Sudo frequently stayed in Tokyo, finding reasons to avoid a permanent move to his residence. Rumors suggest that Nozaki was growing frustrated with this arrangement, allegedly even considering divorce if she didn't fully commit. Could the potential risk to her comfortable lifestyle have created additional strain in their relationship? Sudo's background also raises questions. Her previous connections and interest in luxury settings suggest possible external influences. Could any external factors have contributed to the events surrounding Nozaki's death? And let's not overlook the sudden death of Nozaki's beloved dog just days before his own. The dog was dear to him, and its unexpected passing seems too coincidental, perhaps a sign of deeper issues yet to be revealed. Sudo's reserved behavior, her high-profile lifestyle, her past, and the undeniable tension in their marriage all point back to her as the prime person of interest. But was it really just about money, or is there something even darker beneath the surface? Drop your theories in the comments, and let's dig deeper into this mystery together. Uncovering the darkest secrets needs your power. Click subscribe now and join us.